Good evening. This is the first video broadcast for TE 804. I have two sections, and I hope to have both of you simultaneously synchronized, but we'll see how that works out. Just a couple of comments about this class. I hope to take you into areas or zones experiencing or talking about aspects of culture that you may not be comfortable with, or you may be delighting in, or you may just say, I never even heard of that before. I encourage you to suggest journeys or alternatives. I do have a the typical syllabus. You can read the weeks, but we will probably vary from that especially after the first 4 or 5 weeks, depending on what's more valid. My first goal, and this is part of the culture map that you've read about. I'll explain it again just in here. The culture map should be on a poster or 11 by 17, and you should, piece of paper or something white. It should be very colorful. It can be drawn. It can be painted. I've never had many paintings. I have had people do actual 3-dimensional villages where they actually made little houses and took pictures of it. This is something you can do with your students in class on whatever level they are. They may not be that artistic. You may not be that artistic. I can assure you I am not that artistic. But the fact is that these culture maps, the focus is on doing a map either of where you grew up or where you've spent the last 20 years. We can call it that way. With children, obviously, it'd be wherever they live. You know, if they're going to school, then you might have their neighborhood. And it's a really good way to find out what's important to kids. Not only where they live or, you know, something about their neighborhood or their culture, but kids are free to draw, and it's very interesting. They enjoy looking at each other's maps and comparing them. You can use it as a basis for all kinds of other exercises in writing or discussion. I do English as a second language, so anything that helps promote conversational English is good, or conversation, period. But our interest now is in exploring the world of your students, or I am interested in your world. So when you do your paragraphs, talk about your map where you're a little introduction on the discussion. Notice the discussion is the only assignment this week, and so you do everything in the discussion. You don't do it on the assignment page in Canvas, but you go to the discussion. You can attach your picture, try to make sure that it does open up and that people can see it in fair detail. So I've always told people, take a photo of it with your phone or your computer or a camera or whatever, and then make sure that it's detailed enough that people can tell what it is. You don't have to have, multiple pictures, but just a reasonable one, so that if we were in a class, we would just hang them on the wall. And here we, of course, will look at them over the online Canvas access. So my first goal in 804 is to find out about your world and to share with you something about mine. I'm going to do a map too. I normally don't do a map, but I'm going to do one this year. So I'll put it up. I want you to do it by Thursday or Friday, and then everyone has a chance to look at everybody's map. And then I want you to respond with a brief paragraph to at least 5 people. I think I put 40 points on this. I think that's my intention here. 40 points for this first exercise. Normally it's 20 for discussion. I'm not real comfortable worrying about how many points you get. I want you to enjoy the assignment and get something out of it. That's my purpose. Most of you are probably going to be in teaching already, so I'm very interested in knowing about your teaching situation. So wherever you want to do with your map. You can also put, different parts of it. You can put your past. You're not restricted to the now or the distant past. You can just put your whole life story on there if you want. So you have great freedom with this. Make it real colorful so that we can see. Don't draw with a little light pencil and then everybody's squinting to see what it is you did. So please make an effort to make your map distinct and enjoyable. It can have symbols. It can have actual photographs attached to it. I've had people cut things out of magazines. I've had students who are teachers, but most of you in this graduate class actually go wild and just make all kinds of exciting things in their map. I've had students from all over the world make maps, and they've shown me things in places I would never have seen. You probably notice in the background I have a strange room. I keep a lot of books. I have a lot of little pottery and Mona Lisa's there. I just put her up just to let you know that I know what art looks like, even though you'll see my drawings are pretty pathetic. That little kite up there is a Indonesian kite. I've had it for many years. Those are flying monkeys. If you ever bought one of those, they're kind of a scream because you throw them and they explode, making all kinds of noise, and they frighten people. They're great fun. So, I'll show you a little more in my room as time goes on. I collect lots of books over here. I don't know if I'm pointing in the right way, but even have that little screen there with books on it is actually an artwork produced by a student at UNK. And I bought that because I thought it was fascinating. It was one of those screens you can get from Hobby Lobby or a craft store. And then he actually did art. He took photographs, and then he somehow, like a T-shirt or something, he he screened those onto the actual screens. Screen printed it or something. It's quite unique. I've always enjoyed it. That's if you like Seinfeld, that little guy in the cube up there, that is the soup Nazi from one of the Seinfeld episodes. If you watch Seinfeld, if you don't, it'd take too long to explain it. But I would ask that you watch the entire 9-year season if you get a chance. That's Edgar Allan Poe up there by that tree. I love Edgar Allan Poe. I like poetry. And I collect books. Those are the 1001 Arabian Nights collection up there. I like books. I like cartoons. I like jokes, comedy. So that's a little bit about me, just from, you can see on the screen here. I like silly hats. So I've got my Ghostbusters hat. I never wear it out because I want to, it's kind of ambiguous. I never wear it outside, rarely, and I never wear it out, so I don't want to ruin it. But I love Ghostbusters, and I like ghost hunting, even though I don't have any faith in ghosts, but it's just kind of a fun, silly thing. So I hope you enjoy this class, and we'll look at the book. I did tell you that you can buy the book or not buy it. The Banks book is useful. I'm going to explain things about the Banks book. Just some basic concepts. But I'm going to spend a lot of time talking about the here and now, what you can do and what the world is like. Obviously, multiculturalism itself is a highly controversial term. It's gotten very politicized. It's going to stay that way. I don't have any hope we're going to change things. But I just hope that what I want you to come away with from this class is how to encourage students to want to know about other cultures and to understand about them and not to fear them, and to understand what anxiety is about when you encounter something that's different. It's natural to be hesitant. That's part of curiosity. You don't know. You ever watch your cat when it runs up and it sees something? Inevitably, the cat has to explore it, but sometimes to its detriment. But the cat always is curious. He wants to know. Most animals are like that, and certainly people are like that. It's a very natural state of being. So I want you all to read all of the other students, look at their maps, do a quick reading, respond to at least 5 of them. And I want to create a community so that you can understand. And the reason I bring this up is because you may find opportunities for new jobs from other people in this class by befriending them and talking with them, keeping a civil attitude. We don't want to be like we are in the world of television, media, and politics, where everybody rips everybody. That really doesn't do any good. But it can be fun at times, but it ultimately is not a positive way to create a learning community. So welcome to TE 804. You've got my phone number. I think it's on the syllabus, my cell. So you can call me at reasonable hours. That's between noon and 8 o'clock at night. Those 8 hours are the best time to call me because I teach a lot online and my other classes are at night, late afternoon. I usually sleep late. I'll just admit I sleep late and then I get up and I stay up late because my hours are kind of shifted. And I love it that way. I'm not at my best at 8 a.m. in the morning. And I start getting in at my best about 4 in the afternoon, going in on technically. So this is a broadcast for both classes. And that other book, the Pfeiffer book, however you say that, she's from Lincoln, Nebraska, a counselor, and she's written some other books like Reviving Ophelia, which is a book about the lives of young adolescent girls. And she's quite an extraordinary storyteller, and she tells all kinds of little episodes in there about her encounters with refugees, mostly in Lincoln, Nebraska. If you don't know, Lincoln, Nebraska has many individuals from different countries, all kinds of different countries. And this lady, Marianne Pfeiffer, has worked with many of them, encountered them, and you get and you have to get a personal insight. You know, you can't go out and have all the experiences yourself. So if you can read, and reading is always good, reading about other cultures is enriching. And I hope that when you're done with this class that you're interested in either starting a multicultural club or just a civilization club or explorer club in your school, and that you think about getting multicultural books, bilingual books, trilingual books, whatever, stories from different cultures, all the things that will enrich the background of your students and send them in different directions in their life. Because each child is potential world changer and a difference maker in whatever skills they have. And let's give them every opportunity to explore that. And do the same for yourself, because you're never so old that, oh, I don't need to learn, I don't need to try. Because when you do that, then you're about gone. But curiosity is what keeps you going. So you can ask me any questions you want. I'll try to get my map done this week. Yell at me if I don't get it in right away. I'm a little guilty of getting busy and being lazy. So the class will be week by week. You can't just fill it out and be done with it. Some people say online class, I just want to fill in the blanks and get on with it. This is a class where you interact with people. So you actually have to do the equivalent of coming to class every week. If you have any problems with technology, you should call the people here at UNK. 865-8363 is the help desk. I think that's right. Or you can just type in UNK help desk, and I think that'll go right to them. You can find that information on your Canvas page. And they're very helpful. I'm going to be showing a lot of movies that will be accessed on here. Now, if you can get Netflix, that's even better. But I do have some traditional ones that deal with cultures. I also love movies in general, but that's cool too. All right. Well, good luck, and email me or introduce yourself. You can even call me if you get all fired up. I just teach online classes, and I have classes late afternoon Tuesday and Wednesday night, actually. And so during the afternoons, I'm pretty much free, except on Tuesday, 3:30, I'm busy. And I love to talk with students, so good luck, and I look forward to visiting with you. So take care.